All right, let's talk about something huge, something that affects every single one of us. We're going to break down the basic agreement that lets us all live together: governments, taxes, and most importantly, the power of the people. I mean, really think about that for a second. How do thousands, even millions of strangers manage to live side by side in a city without everything just falling into complete chaos? It sounds like a massive puzzle, right? Well, the answer comes down to one simple word: complexity. You see, when we lived in small villages, things were pretty straightforward. But as those villages grew into sprawling cities, the jobs needed to keep things running just got way too big for any one person or family to handle. So, all this growing complexity created a bunch of shared problems. And that led to the very first essential building block for any big society: the need for some rules, a shared system. Think about the absolute basics we all need: clean water, roads that are safe to drive on, schools for our kids, a sense of safety. I mean, no single person can build an entire city's water system, right? These are things we all share. And to get them, we have to work together. So, this collective need for stuff, it demanded a collective solution. Since we couldn't all stop our day jobs to manage these massive projects, we created a specialized group to do it for us. And that, right there, is the basic idea behind government. And it's so important to remember this. A government isn't some outside force that just shows up. It's a tool. It's a tool that we create. We choose a group of people and give them the power to make decisions for the good of the whole community. So, what's on their to-do list? Well, a few huge things. They write laws to keep things safe and orderly. They build and maintain all that public stuff like hospitals and parks. And maybe most importantly, they're supposed to make sure that the rules are followed fairly by everyone. Of course, building roads, running schools, and paying police officers, all of that costs money, a lot of money. And this brings us to the engine that powers this whole machine. Yeah, if the government is providing all these services for everyone, the next logical question is pretty simple. Who pays for it all? How do we foot the bill? And the answer is taxes. Now, nobody loves paying them, but think of it this way. Taxes are just how we all chip in to a big shared pot. It's the mechanism we use to fund all the things that benefit all of us. It's a shared cost for a shared benefit. Okay, so we've got a system and we've got a way to pay for it, but this is absolutely not a one-way street. In the best systems, the people who pay for everything also get to control it. And this is where the power of your voice comes in. This might just be the most important rule of all. A government that is funded by the people has a fundamental duty to listen to those people. Your contribution buys you a voice. It's a crucial check on power. And we have a name for that system of listening. It's called democracy. And it's a profound idea, really. It means you have the power not only to choose your leaders, but just as importantly, you have the power to hold them accountable. This one little phrase, "you work for us," pretty much captures the entire spirit of a real democracy. The government is an employee of the people. They are hired to do a job, not the other way around. And what that means is that democracy is an active, living thing. It's not a spectator sport. If a law is unjust or a system isn't working, you don't just have to accept it. Citizens have the right and, yep, the ability to demand and create change. So how does that change actually happen? Well, it grows from the ground up. It starts when people who share a concern get together. They talk, they organize, they speak out, and they build momentum until finally the rules are changed for the better. That's literally how justice evolves. So, we have this incredible power as citizens, but that power comes with a huge responsibility. And it all depends on one final, absolutely critical ingredient: the truth. I mean, if we have the power to choose our leaders and change the laws, how do we know we're making the right decisions? How do we use all that power wisely? Because here's the bottom line: without access to honest, factual information, our ability to make good choices just collapses. The truth isn't just a nice-to-have virtue. It is the bedrock of a healthy democracy. This is exactly why a free and independent media is so vital. They act as a watchdog. Their job is to tell us what's really happening, to help us stay informed, and to help us stay safe by holding powerful people accountable. So the formula for a strong society starts to look pretty clear, doesn't it? You need good leadership that actually listens. You need fair laws that apply to everyone. And you need informed people who are willing to use their voices. That three-part combo is what keeps a country healthy and strong. Okay, so we've built a solid foundation for how a country works. But in our modern world, no country is an island. So what happens when these incredibly complex systems have to start interacting with each other? In our final chapter, we're going to zoom way out to the global level. We'll explore how entire nations trade with each other, cooperate, and even resolve conflicts. And we'll see how your voice can help shape not just your own country, but the future of our entire world.